It's Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Riley Friday. And you kind of shaped like Rebecca Black. What's good, Twinsky? Is Rebecca Black who sings that song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Twinsky in the front seat, Twinsky in the back seat. Which
Ugh.
one should I take?
You damn Skippy, it's a Twinsky episode. Gregory didn't. Hey, we said we gave Gregory the day off. It was time to get a good old fashioned Riley Friday Twinsky edition in. Riley, my good sir, I gotta ask you. This is the ninth different location you have recorded in the last 2 weeks. Where are we at? What is the weather like outside? I absolutely love that blue paint in there. By the way, whatever that is.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the backdrop is quite nice. I am in Kiowa Island. I'm living it up at the beach. We're here for another day, eating a lot of good food. Last night I had a taste of the low country with some shrimp and grits, had some jambalaya, had some key lime pie. Dude, it was like one of the best meals I've had in a long time. Some cornbread. Yeah, I was we've been living good. This has been we've been traveling for over a week now. Did a beach trip with my family and now we're with my wife's family back to back. Yeah, I think my son needs a little bit more stability to his life. He hasn't been sleeping well, but aside from that, which honestly, I'll complain a little bit. I'm not above that.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
taking care of at the beach, but I'm not above complaining. It's just it's tough when he's thrown off a little bit for all parties involved, but it's okay.
hey, you know what? A little bit of adversity mixed in with a vacation, never really the wrong thing to do. I do have to ask you, are you a key lime pie guy? I don't.
I
I,
love
I,
key lime
I feel
pie.
like I've never been in. Have I ever gotten your pie rankings?
Okay, let me think. Key lime one, chocolate chest two, cherry three, pecan four, chocolate pecan. No, chocolate pecan four, pecan five.
Insane that I didn't know you were this deep into pies.
I like pies.
What about sweet potato pie?
I'm trying to think of. I think I've only had that once in my life, but remember liking it.
Okay, I need to hook you up with some elite sweet potato pie. Definitely elite cherry pie, huh?
Yeah, I like cherry in general. It's one of my favorite fruits. Would crack my top five for sure. And I think cherry is an underrated ingredient in any dessert. Love like a chocolate cherry combo. So yeah, cherry pie. I'm not big on apple pie. Not big on pumpkin pie. Although I will say like when you actually have someone that knows how to make a pumpkin pie as opposed to like the frozen Edwards pumpkin pie or whatever, that trash is inedible to me. But if you make homemade pumpkin pie, it's pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing I think it's been a while since I had pie. But I think it was maybe like 2 months ago. I don't know. I had some rhubarb pie. I don't even know what rhubarb is, to be honest with you. But that shit was slapping.
See, I've always liked rhubarb. I like foods that start with an R for obvious reasons. That's why radish is high in my vegetable ranking. Rhubarb, I think, is basically you're not a radish guy.
Don't ever ask me that. No one's a radish person. Don't
Okay,
call yourself a radish guy.
I guarantee you, Meg has made a salad with radish in it that you have enjoyed.
Not in this household, God damn it.
Really?
No, no, sorry. Excuse my language, Riley. Gosh darn it. Not in this household. No way.
I
I
would
don't
have thought
allow
the vegan
radish in
side
this
of her definitely
household.
liked radish, but
Stop it. I'm gonna text Meg right now and ask her, but you know what? Let's go ahead and get to the episode as much as I love the banter. We're gonna start today. Actually, do you have a YouTube comment or you want me to pull one?
let me if while you text Meg and stall a little bit, I will find a good YouTube comment.
Sounds
Maybe
good.
give us a trademark da da da. I haven't had a da 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 in a while.
Also, like, what? Meg's gonna wonder if I'm okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had like casual convo or whatnot. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Then I'm just gonna hit her with the, "Do you like radish?"
All right, let's see. Today's YouTube comment of the day. Underachieving is going 1 and 13 versus quality opponents. This was on my video on the five most successful programs over the next decade will be dot 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 O'Reilly every day. I think that was a reference to UNC's Q1 record last year. Did not mention UNC once in the video. So glad to see that you're still thinking about the heels. Makes sense because we are college basketball even when our program is in a downturn. That's our YouTube comment of the day.
We are college basketball is a crazy, crazy statement from you, Riley. But just know I love you for it, my brother. We are going to get to the Discord comments today. Everyone, please join the Discord. Discord is a great place to be. We got a college football dynasty going on in there right now. We got all types of channels for everybody, basketball discussion, all types of sports, and quite frankly, if you've ever found yourself wondering, how do I support this group of gentlemen who put on this Sleepers Media channel? One of the best ways to do that is by joining the Discord for $9.99 a month. Link is in the description of our Twitter bio. And part of being a part of the Discord is that you get your comments read on every single episode if I see them and choose to read them. So we are going to start today with, I don't want to make sure I skip anybody, but let's go. I think this is where it is. Okay. All hail the no, because that was yesterday at 9:07. Because Dion and Greg did that. Okay, here's where we're at. Just Snacky. Kylan had some praise for Wagler, saying word for word he's cold. Also mentioned that he believes he will have a much bigger role than what people think. I know you guys talked about this a bit, but if Merck and Mahalo eventually get to campus, do you think depth looks a little bit better? Tune into the channel. Riley and I have a Keaton Wagler video where we let our thoughts be very much known. But to give you a quick little insight into it, two thumbs up. Two thumbs up from us on that one for sure.
Think Wagler can play a role for sure.
Yep. Just Snacky. Wink's idea for half hoops, half football tournament was great. Would love to see that as a Big Ten topic. Maybe we will do that. Shout out to Wink, by the way. Appreciate Wink on Sleepers Got Talent. It was a fun, fun time. Sleeve Nash says, Happy Riley Friday, y'all. Just want to say how damn proud I am of our final three in Sleepers Got Talent. Booby, Eli, and Wink. Booby crushed the interactive stuff. Eli pushed the page hard, and Wink's video with Dion was super creative. Honestly, I'm glad I'm not voting. All three killed it, have bright futures, proud of whoever wins. I'm scared of Sleeve, man. Who is this Sleeve? I don't know if it's like late 2025 Sleeve, but I'm buying all the Sleeve stock, man.
Yeah, I mean, and he's spot on. All three were great. Thought they all rose to the occasion. And I said this in a video that will be released, but yeah, the amount of work that went into it and the skill sets that were shown is really impressive, especially as someone who has used CapCut before and like struggled with it, and as someone who has a Canva Pro account and struggles with it. So shout out to the contestants.
Yeah. Sleeve Nash. Dion brought up how tough it is to guard the dribble handoff between TKR and either Clough, Braden, or Omer. I'm sorry, between TKR and either Braden or Omer. Uh, Especially without leaving Fletch open. And yeah, it's not easy, but the way that you have to play it is in drop. You take away the role to TKR and force Braden or Omer into tough, soft contest mid-range shots for 40 minutes. Yes, they're going to hit some, but can they hit them 6 games in a row in March? That's the real question. Because if they don't, and the ball swings to Fletch, who I've said is a great role guy, I don't trust him to take over. He's a catch and shoot guy, can attack closeouts, but he's not a creator. So the plan, drop coverage, shrink the floor, force Braden and Omer into tough twos, and live with the results. If they hit them every night for 6 straight, tip your cap, but that's the bet you have to make. I mean, look, so I think you do bring up some points here. When you do have a team as good as Purdue, you do have to pick your poison somewhat, right? And maybe tough mid-range twos are what you want, but also like maybe the mid-range twos aren't tough. And everything I'm seeing from Omer and Braden, and we've seen what Braden can do in the mid-range. He's got a nice mid-range shot. Omer looks like he can hit it in the mid-range too, but whether it's with Israel or just getting his own shot. So, in theory, yes, play drop coverage, see what happens. Also, I have seen teams get murdered in drop coverage and lose games a lot. So I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about the whole
I'm
scenario?
like, Braden Smith is a drop coverage killer. He's been that way for his whole
Yeah,
career.
I don't know if
I
that's
mean,
what
maybe.
I don't know if that's what I want. Honestly, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm more so like let Braden kind of get to the cup and maybe force him to make like a shot over a shot blocker or something
Yeah.
like that. I mean, you don't want
Yeah.
to give up layups, but like Braden can murder you in the mid range.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I just want to add shrink the floor is one of my favorite basketball guy terms.
Just shrink the floor.
Yeah, I love shrink the floor.
Oh
Great
man.
coach term. But
It is. It really, really is. Malik Perry, a flurry is coming up, by the way. Let's go with okay. Nope, it's not an earthquake, but you're all in danger because it's flurry time.
let's that's it feels a little in poor taste.
All right. Wait, what did he say?
Just referencing an earthquake, like after the giant
Oh,
earthquake.
come on, Malik. Be
I
be be better, man. I didn't even realize that. Be better now. Actually, Malik, there's a lot of like comments on here that I feel like are a little bit out of pocket. So I'm gonna go ahead and sift through some of these. Um, Malik, bad comment day from you, man. I'll be honest with you. You gotta be a little bit better here. I'm gonna keep on going, see what we can really do here. Uh, yeah, good Lord, Malik, you're on probation. I'm moving on. All hail the Pope. I don't know if you all know a lot about the difference in revenue share money and NIL money that can go into college basketball teams next year. But Norlander and Matt Jones at KSR said that Kentucky only used NIL money this year, so next year they can double it, use revenue share money next year to really push to a championship. What are your thoughts?
Hold on, I need to read this over again. Oh, huh, really? That is fascinating if Kentucky really only used NIL money
I
because
mean,
they have
I mean,
crazy.
the roster would make sense given who was on the team. I guess they didn't really have no big dogs like that.
On this year's roster.
Last year's.
Wait, hold
Wait,
on.
are they saying this year's roster's only NIL?
The Northern Rangers. Oh, they said only use NIL money this year, so next year they can double use the rev share and the NIL.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, there's a cap to how much rev share you can use. That's like the same for everybody. But NIL, there's no limit on. So that's why I'm like, if they didn't have to use any of the rev share to get their 15 to $20 million roster, that's pretty impressive. And if they're spending 30 mil next year, that's kind of crazy.
Got it. Revenue share is fake. Moving forward here, rate this Final Four: Purdue, Houston, BYU, Kentucky.
Would have no qualms for me. Would love that. 10
Absolutely
out of 10.
none.
I would
Uh,
love that.
None for me. Can you all predict who will finish top 10 in offense and defense in Ken Palm?
Does Duke get there?
I think Duke could get there.
Houston for sure, not Purdue
You think
though.
Houston will be top 10 offense too?
I Were they last year? Or were they top 15?
They might have been top 15. I feel like they were like 12th last year offensively.
Let me check.
But I might be wrong. I think Duke could get there.
Oh, wow. Look at you, Cart. They were 12th in offense, first in defense.
I'm a Cougar, man. You know this in one way or another. No. No, but yeah, I'm trying to think.
Florida was there last year. I don't think they'll be top 10 defense this year. I think they'll be top 10 offense again, though.
I don't think Tennessee could get there.
Auburn was both. I don't think there's any chance there either. Maybe top 10 offense. Duke, it scares me because I don't trust Pat Gongba. I don't know if Malik Brown is someone you want. Like, I think they just could look a lot. I think they'll be good defensively. I just don't know if top 10 without a transcendent player like Flag and a massive rim protector like Malawach.
Yeah, I'm trying to think maybe who else could possibly.
UConn. I think UConn can get there.
UConn could possibly get there if everything hits, or if they get. I don't think there's a very slight chance, but Kentucky could get there,
Yeah, they could.
like very possibly. I don't know. It's very hard to do. We'll see how it goes. Um, let's see. How long do we have to listen about BYU becoming this elite recruiting machine? They are not getting any more five stars after AJ.
I wouldn't say that. Even if they don't get even if they don't recruit in a conventional way, Rob Wright was one of the two or three best guards available in the portal, and they got him. So,
Yeah, come on now. Let's not do this. Riley, can you do a Miss Rachel impression?
let's, gosh, I really can't stand Miss Rachel's voice, but it
Why?
gets on my nerves, dude.
Why is that, Riley?
We're gonna take out some pretend bubble gum. What color is she?
Hello. Can you say Hubert Davis?
Davis.
Oh, I really hate us sometimes. Okay, let's see here. Any weekend plans from Malik Perry?
Last day at the beach tomorrow. Let's see, going out to this really good restaurant in Charleston called Heggie's.
Okay, what we getting? What kind of place is that?
They have really good halibut. They have braised beef ribs. I'm trying to think what else they have steaks, but I don't really order steaks when I go out because I trust my ability to cook a steak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
But
I wouldn't trust anyone else with red meat besides you, Riley. Let me tell you, they don't call you Riley Red Meat for nothing.
that's
Respectfully. What the halibut? Let's see here. What else we got in the comment section? Why my Discord just go away? Oh, here we go. Uh, fam, no 33. Happy Bluffs Friday. Y'all know how we rock. What are your guys' thoughts on Sleepers Got Talent? I thought it was a major success. When will we hear the results? So at the timing of the release of this episode, I think the results should be out. And we also have some thoughts on like what we felt about the competition, but like short and sweet for me. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was very fun to see. I feel like Riley feels the same.
Yep, provided a lot of laughs along the way. Was very impressed by the creativity, even people who didn't get out of the first round. Shout out to my guy Luca. You are still seeing Stanford journalist. I believe in you and your future endeavors. But yeah, just a lot of fun memories along the way.
I forgot about man, what a time. We're gonna need like a compilation of like all the entries and play and like all the clips and things like that. We need that. Warchant says, Greg, for the record, as an Illini fan, I don't want to be Venus. Way too hot there, too close to the sun. I have absolutely no idea what that's in reference to, so we're gonna go last one of the day. Warchant. I think sleepers can pull off what Field of 68 is doing to kick off the season with all their favorite teams. Two sites, State Farm Center and Mackey. Carter goes to both sites sitting in the Orange Crush and the Paint Crew. Listen, I'm a big individual. I don't know if you can just conspicuously put me in places. Like I'll be seen. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I would be good in the paint crew. I feel like I'd be all right in the Orange Crush, but at the same time, I don't know. My experience in the Orange Crush, y'all are wild. Like I mean, I am a snitch, but like not a snitch, but like I will snitch to like save myself. But I almost went and tapped the cop on the shoulder. I was like, hey, you got to get him. That young man's rude. I feel like a Karen. I was like, get him out of here. But yeah, it's two wild fan bases, two wild student sections. I would love to do something like that. Also, shout out to the Field 68. That's like very dope. I will be tuned in at 8 a.m. all the way through. I will do one suggestion though. I need better teams next year, okay? I don't need the Sean Paul Invitational. I'd like a couple better teams, please.
I might mess around and try to get credentialed for the Rock Hill one though.
That'd be fire.
Like representing sleepers at the Philly 6 Day Classic. That'd be a fun full circle moment for all of us, just with like I think me, you, and Greg all having our foot in the door through Goodman and everything. So, which I'm sure you're gonna take this opportunity to insult Goodman in his build of some sorts, but I still love Goodman.
I love Goodman. I'll always be appreciative for like what Jeff did for us. But now we'll get to that portion. He's built like Osmosis Jones character. He's got the build of amoeba. For all my scientific folks out there. That does it for the Discord comments today. Shout out to everybody in the Discord. We are brought to you by My2K Labs, sponsor of today's video. Shout out to My2K Labs. All the college football stuff they're doing right now has been absolutely positively special for me and making sure that I can hang in the dynasty, hang with the game. Because I played a 12-year-old the other day and he emasculated me, for lack of a better term. It was ridiculous how bad he beat me. I had to get into my 2K labs, lab, no pun intended, and get right. But shout out to them. Always have great stuff over there. And if you're playing college football 26, you got to go tap into the tools there. They got you covered. Topic number one, Riley Red Meat Davis. Hit me.
Carter, you know those drafts that G always has you do where there's several different categories, and once you take that specific category, it's off the board for you, and then he always criticizes you when he drafts this one category and then you pick from that same category?
Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do, man.
That is what we are going to do. This draft, we're actually revisiting an old segment that I believe you did last summer, where we will be building our dream college basketball program, and we're
Mm.
going to go snake draft style. I'm sure one of the Sleepers Got Talent contestants can draft up a nice little graphic for this. But here are the categories. Are you ready?
Lay it on me.
Coach, NIL budget,
Okay.
academics, facilities, stadium, jerseys.
So, coach, NIL, academics. Can you go through the rest of them? Sorry, I want to make sure I get them.
Facilities,
Facilities,
stadium,
stadium,
and jerseys. Are there any
jer-
categories I missed that you're like, oh, I want to draft based on this?
cheerleaders. None of that. Love my wife. No, that does that. I think that's good.
All right. Do you want the first or second pick?
Okay. Ooh, I want. Ooh, is it snakes? Is snake style right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take second two.
Okay. Let's see. For the first pick, I'll go ahead and do NIL, and I will take Kentucky's budget.
That's a good pick. Okay, so as far as this draft goes, I'm just what I'm not allowed to pick Kentucky for NIL, or I'm not allowed to pick Kentucky for anything now.
No, you can pick Kentucky for something else. You're just not allowed to pick Kentucky's NIL.
Oh,
But I
okay.
can't pick any other NIL. So it's like you, again, going back to the strategy, you could wait to your last pick to take NIL.
Okay. Interesting. All right, so I got two picks here. For coach, I am going to take Dan Hurley. And for academics, I'm kidding, I ain't picking no academics. Get out of here. For NIL, I am going to take. Ooh. See, Michigan has a big NIL budget, but I don't want to be aligned with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap into ooh, maybe a little bit of oil. Give me ah, this is tough. This is tough. Actually, I'll wait on that. I'm gonna go stadium. Give me Fog Allen.
Great pick. I was really hoping you were going to commit to the bit and just draft an NIL budget off rip. So you teased it. I'm crushed that you got Fog Allen. That would have been high up on mine. Okay, for me, so let's see. Jerseys, I got to have the homer pick, and I'm taking UNC.
Good pick.
Facilities, I'm going to take Baylor's facilities. I don't know if you've ever seen their weight room for the
That is
basketball team, but it's crazy.
that is
Let
nice.
me get that. Yeah, let me get Chip and Joanna, interior design, exterior design, architecture, all of that. I want that for my facility, so I'll take Baylor's facilities.
Yeah. All right. So, ooh. So you took Baylor facilities, and what was your other pick?
UNC's
Jersey.
jerseys.
Okay. All right. So I'm between two for facilities. I wish I knew what Oregon's look like, but I feel like it's great because it's Nike.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna go with Illinois, actually. Illinois' basketball facilities are fire. Now maybe it's because I got a tour of them and they were super nice and they're brand new. But I'm gonna go with Illinois facilities. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna go with jerseys. Michigan State jerseys.
Unscripted. Word to unscripted.
Word to unscripted, man. Word to Jackson Kohler.
Let's see. So what do I? Okay, so to recap where we're at so far, I have drafted Kentucky's NIL, UNC's jerseys, Baylor's facilities. So that means I still need to draft a coach, academics, a stadium, and that's it. You have drafted Dan Hurley as your coach, Fog Allen as your stadium. Then you have Illinois facilities, Michigan State jerseys. So you haven't drafted an NIL budget and you haven't drafted academics.
No.
So I guess I'll go ahead and take academics. I don't like taking academics before the last round on principle. This feels like taking a kicker in the ninth round of your fantasy draft, but I'm gonna play the hand that is dealt. I'll take Florida's academics because it's good enough to attract a high level transfer like Xavier Lee on the off. Every once in a while, you're going to get a high level dude who values academics, but I've never heard of Florida struggling to get a player through admissions, so I like that. We get the best of both worlds.
Mm, okay.
And and then for coach. This might be a little controversial since we're drafting it, but I'll explain since we're drafting it for the future, I should say. I'm going to go ahead and take Kelvin Sampson and trust that he can get me a championship in the next 2 to 3 years. And I'm banking on Kellen Sampson just being dope afterwards.
So you're picking the Samson family here.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
that
taking the
feels like
Sampson.
we're cheating the system here.
But I just want to make sure if Kelvin only coaches 5 more years, I got my coach in waiting already there, who I think should be pretty good.
Do I get Bobby Hurley if Dan hangs it up?
Do you want Bobby Hurley?
No. Okay. For academics, I'm gonna take Memphis. They had somebody taking tests for Derrick Rose. That means something to me. That means something to me. I honestly, I was gonna leave. Honestly, forever makes this graphic. Leave academics blank. Do not care. Do not care whatsoever. You want to know one of the richest men in the world, Riley?
Who's that?
Floyd Mayweather. Ask me if he can read.
Can Floyd Mayweather read?
He can't. Ask me if 50 Cent has a good education.
Does 50 Cent have a good education?
He actually might, but one of my favorite teammates in college always used to get me to do things that were bad by saying, I mean, would 50 Cent do that? He literally had me stop blowing on my soup because he's like, would 50 Cent ever blow on his soup like that? And I was like, damn, you're kind of right. Shout to Mike Smith. And then for NIL budget, I'm gonna go with I want some oil money. Give me Texas Tech.
Oh, that's a good shout. I really like that pick.
Yeah, give me Texas Tech NIL. All right, so for me, I got Dan Hurley as my coach. I have Texas Tech's NIL. I have Memphis's academics. I have actually no, I have nothing for academics. I don't want anybody. Just leave it blank. Facility, I have Illinois. Stadium, I have Fog Allen and jerseys. I have Michigan State.
So I get to take my stadium, and I'll go ahead and take Mackey. Not
Good pick.
taking Cameron. So to recap, my coach is Kelvin Sampson and eventually Kellen Sampson. My NIL is Kentucky's. My academics are Florida. My facilities are Baylor's. My stadium is Mackey, and my jerseys are UNC.
I think that was fun. I think I won. I think someone turned that into a graphic and
And we'll,
posted it.
I need people to vote on that because I feel pretty confident in my draft, but I like yours as well.
Yeah, let me know as well. I'll be interested to see who wins that one. Topic number two, Riley, test the temperature of that meat Davis.
So we're going to go back to April 6th, I believe, which would have been the day after the national championship. I want you to think back to everything you thought you knew about college basketball on that day. And then fast forward back to July 31st, the day that we're recording this. And I want to talk some stock risers. Mainly, what teams, I want two teams and two players who have risen in your mind compared to how you viewed them either at the end of last season or we can even say like throughout the month of April at the very earliest stages of the off season.
Ooh, okay, so two players and two programs that have stock up for me.
Yep.
Oh, that's tough because I have gone stock up on. Okay, actually, I'll do this. My first stock up, you want to just go like one by one back and forth?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, I'm gonna start with a stock up team. It's actually St. John's. I feel like I have been too harsh on St. John's. I'm always over here like I got this little thing against Patino, somewhat, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't view him as God as other people do. But there is a world where this roster's really good, right? There's a world where they're really good. There's a world where like everything hits and they got hella talent on this team. Ian Jackson, Zuby Ejiofor, Joseph Sanoa, and they have Darling as well, who I really, really like as a backup point guard, maybe the starting point guard on this team, who really knows? But they got a really good team, and I feel like I think too negatively on them because their ceiling is extremely high. I always want to go to their low floor. You know what I'm saying?
hmm Yeah, I like that shot a lot. I would say kind of truly the opposite archetype for my first team of St. John's. I said Wisconsin. Like Greg Gard is sort of the anti-Patino. The moves they make in the offseason are not flashy at all. But I had this realization the other day that I think Nick Boyd, John Blackman, and Nolan Winter, excuse me, John Blackwell and Nolan Winter is an awesome trio. And they might just quietly win like 25 games again. And it's like, oh, Wisconsin, silly face. Like Greg Gard all of a sudden knows how to coach offense and they're going to play fast. They're going to share their ball. They're going to knock down a bunch of threes. I'm really curious to see what Austin Rapp looks like, who's a sophomore from, I believe he's Australian coming over from Portland. The dude knocked down 83 threes last year. He took 236, 35% clips, and not the most efficient, but making 83 threes as a true freshman at 6'10, like that means something to me. And I would even say, looking at what they had last year, I thought the shooting of Nolan Winter really took them to the next level. I love that front court pairing with him and Crowell. And now if you have, if it can work out defensively with Winter and Rapp, there's a real world where Wisconsin is a top three feels aggressive, but I'll go ahead and say it, a top three team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like I'm really not mad at that. I do think that Wisconsin, Greg Gard just silly little offense. He always just makes it happen. He always is productive and he's always there. He's never goes away. So I like that. I feel like they haven't got enough shine. Um, so like as part of this exercise, is it some team that people aren't as high on? Or like me personally, like as the summer is going on, I'm like, oh, I like that team. I love it.
I would say, like you personally, if there's any team that you've changed your opinion on or you're coming around to.
Ooh, let's see. Change my. I mean, I don't want to say Creighton because I feel like I've been really high on Creighton. They just added some pieces that I really, really like. Um,
I can give you my second team if you need some time to think.
I actually think I know my second team.
Let me hear
And I'm
it.
not just saying this because it's you. It actually is UNC.
Oh,
It
okay.
actually is UNC. Like I think that Caleb Wilson could be a first round draft pick. I like Vasar. I like Stevenson. I'm a big Seth Trimble guy. As you know, your current European import I think can really go. So I don't know. I like what Huber's doing. I like the roster more than I have in previous years. So I'll come around on UNC being good.
Yeah, I've said it really since they added Luca as that final piece. And there was a report from Inside Carolina this week that he's like having his interview with the American consul in the Montenegrin embassy. And so that it seems like his migration to the States is imminent. Thank the Lord. We need him in Chapel Hill. But there's a real framework where it's easy to envision good role allocation where everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing and they play into that and they succeed like very much. And it's not the same format as the 2024 team, but I thought as Hubert's by far his most successful team for the whole season and the role allocation was great and it yielded good results. My second team, I made this before I knew Greg wasn't going to be on the show, so it's not even playing into the Twinsky bit, but it's Texas. And this is one of those teams like I'm not moved by Jordan Pope as your lead guard. I need to see something out of Simeon Wilcher before I buy into his one-time five-star pedigree. Like he's been really inefficient in both of his seasons. I know he can guard a little bit, but I mean maybe inefficiency as guards is just par for the course with Rick Pitino these days.
Yeah.
But I love their front court. I think even some of the concerns I have, like going back to Pope and even Tremont Mark, who was there last year, like those guys like to shoot. But since Sean Miller came back to the college ranks, Xavier was top 10 in assist rate nationally every year he was there. I think he's gotten good at coaching ball movement and instilling offensive principles, which is crazy. Just going back to that was always his critique at Arizona was they had a ton of 7-footers they could guard, but the offense would always bog them down in key moments. And it seems like he's figured something out there. So I would say overall, when Texas hired him, I'm like, okay, yeah, Sean Miller's fine, but I'm not really excited about Sean Miller in 2025. But when I think about how he could maybe even help Tremont Mark and Jordan Pope, and then when you look at that front court of Dalen Swain, who I think has some skill at 6'8" and can play a little bit with the ball in his hands. I love the kid they got from FAU, Matas Vokiatitis. He was great last year, like really good on the short roll. He's massive, has great hands, great footwork. Talking to some AAC coaches, they said that he was like super high on their scouting report throughout the year and really high on his ceiling. And then they brought in Declan Duru from the German team, who was really good at the FIBA U19 World Cup. I forgot they had Louis Obiora too, another import from the UK who Michigan State looked at.
Former Michigan State guy.
Yeah. So it maybe Cam Heidi breaks out. Who knows? There's a couple, I think some guys like we know Tremont Mark can score. We know Dalen Swain can be productive in the power conferences. And then you have your lottery ticket ties with Duru, Matas, and Lubis Obiora. It could be a good year in Austin.
I like that. I like that. So the teams part was hard for me a little bit. The players is easy.
All right, give me your players.
Christian Anderson, Denzel Aberdeen.
Okay, let me hear. I mean, I've heard Greg's pitch on Anderson, but I want to hear your thoughts on. Yeah, you can go ahead and share both him and
I
Everett.
mean, obviously, like I've always been a fan of his, in his game. I was gonna be sick if he went to Michigan. He doesn't go to Michigan. That was great for me. But what he's done throughout the summer with FIBA just basically staples the fact that I think he's gonna be the Robin to JT Toppin's Batman, and it's gonna look great, and it's gonna be one of the best guard big combos in the country. And I think he's really gonna kind of come on the scene here after being like very underrated. Like for him to be this freshman, solid player in the Big 12 started, I'm pretty sure, a lot of games, averaged 10 points, shot pretty well. Given a guy that was kind of undersized, he was able to, he's grown into his body a little bit. He's got stronger too. I think he's going to have an exceptional breakout year. And then on the Denzel Aberdeen side, I just think like he's got more to his game than he can show that I'm kind of buying into. And it's showing itself. Like I think the frame is there, the game is there as well. I just think that in the bigger role that he'll have at Kentucky, maybe in a little bit of change of scenery, I'm kind of buying like Denzel Aberdeen being like maybe the running mate instead of Jalen Lowe to take it away. I don't know. I'm just kind of buying it more than I was before.
I'm actually with you completely. We said this on a Kentucky video earlier, reacting to Matt Jones saying Jalen Lowe will lead the team in scoring. I think Aberdeen is 100% the Robin to the Batman. So I'm excited to see how that shakes out. I'll give you my two players. I'll caveat this. The first one you're going to hear, and you're going to be like, well, no, duh, Riley. So there is an explanation to it. But the first is Cam Boozer, which it's like, oh, who would have thought a stock riser who's the top three player in the class is going to be good. But the way that I viewed Boozer really before this summer, when I dove into his high school tape a little bit more and even watched some of these clips Duke has been releasing, I thought of him as like a little undersized at 6'9". Like when I think of someone like Paulo Banchero playing the four, what made him so special was he was massive and he could handle and had all the skill. Someone like Flag was the freak athlete, the insane team defender who would just come out of nowhere to block shots and have better. Both of them have better measurables than Boozer. But the more I've read about this kid, where he's won everywhere he's been. He's averaged like 20 and 10 for his career. And then you see the clips, and I think it's almost like the description for Cam Boozer has been he's good at everything, great at nothing, which I would say he has a great motor, has a great rebounder, two really important skills. But if you're good at everything, then you're gonna be a good college basketball player. And I fully buy him as someone who's not just gonna be a top three pick, but challenge for the number one pick, and he'll make a case for National Player of the Year. So, really special player. I think the passing attributes are a lot better than I realized. The jumper looks projectable. So, shout out to Cam Boozer. I hate that I kind of like Cam Boozer. Maybe that'll change once the season starts, but yeah, he's easy to cheer for.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I like that pick. Who's the second player?
Second player is Christoph Tilly.
Okay,
He
a
was
little Ohio State love, huh?
So he was someone when he committed, it was like, all right, we got a WCC big who averaged 12 points a game. Who cares? And then I actually watched Christoph Tilly, and I think a lot of the physicality, the athleticism, that stuff should translate. He could be a little bit more efficient at the rim, but I think I mean, he's comfortable there, and he can give you some three-point shooting as well. Uh, Percentage isn't great from beyond the arc, but I like that he can at least keep you honest.
I like that pick. I'm honestly a little bit higher on Ohio State this season than I think a lot of people are. So I really like that pick, right? That was a fun exercise. We'll be sure to monitor those throughout the season to see who needs to make some apologies. So let's just let that be known. Topic number three, Riley, the Butcher Davis. Hit me with it.
All right, Carter, remember back when you were a Kendrick Lamar fan in the early 2010s?
Yeah.
You remember on Good Kid, Mad City when he has that clip of his dad saying, "Does somebody order Dominoes?"
Yes.
So this segment is called Dominoes. It actually comes to us from Sully on the Discord, where he wanted me to do this. I've been doing the Q&A week on Riley every day, where he wanted me to predict what coaching dominoes will fall this upcoming offseason, like a year in advance, or let's say, what is it, 9, 10 months in advance. Of course, I think he's probably referencing last spring when the domino fell. Was it infield to SMU first?
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
infield to SMU. Then it was Must to USC,
Yeah. Just
Cal
set
to
everything off.
Arkansas, Pope to Kentucky. Yeah, that domino. So let's thought I didn't want to do this by myself. I kind of wanted you to check me on some of it, but yeah, what dominoes do you think will fall in the coaching carousel 9 months from now?
So first of all, my big ass, I was thinking pizza immediately. So now I gotta refocus here. We're talking about Domino's, the game. See, the thing is, like, it needs to be set, like, in order for like the dominoes to truly fall, it needs to be set off by something that's kind of like drastic. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the USC job opening. I mean, it's still a good job, but like I feel like the next domino is gonna be like even bigger. Like maybe it's a retirement. You know what I'm saying? Like you never want to push something on somebody, but like given Bill Self's health concerns lately, like the first domino to fall might be the Kansas job becoming open.
Mm-hmm.
So
If Kansas and UNC both open this offseason, that's like my nightmare as a Carolina fan because I don't want any competition for the best coach. Like it would make if it opens and let's say I mean maybe Hubert saves his job and it's all moot, but if he doesn't, it's gonna look pretty dumb that Carolina didn't move on from him this past March, I guess would have been when they lost in the tournament. And if Bill Self just decides the health concerns are too much. So, I mean, for this exercise, do we want to say both those jobs open up?
let's say both those jobs open up, yeah.
All right. So if Kansas opens up, who do you think they get?
Even they strike me as like higher within type program, but I want to say like, you think they go after like a Brad Underwood?
I think they would aim higher than Underwood. I think they try their hand at getting Oates or Golden first.
Ooh, yeah, Oates. Actually, Oates is the pick. They would get
Oates feels like a really good fit there. So then who takes the Alabama job?
Eric Musselman.
I could see that. That actually, if USC has a good year,
I can see
move back.
it.
What
Yeah.
about, because I was trying to think, like, would Ole Miss to Alabama be too much of a lateral move if Chris Beard wanted it?
No, actually, I like that pick more than mine. I think Beard going to Ole Miss would make a lot of. I'm sorry, Beard going to Alabama would make a lot of sense.
Can we do Beard to Alabama, then Must to Ole Miss?
Let's do that. Yeah, that'd be so fun. That's so must too to go to Ole Miss.
So then USC opens. I'm gonna throw them like Big West champ. Congrats, you're at USC now. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Or do you think USC aims a little higher?
I think no, that sounds about right.
Okay, we'll go. I mean, they got the Big Ten money though. Like maybe they do get higher than the. We'll put a. You know what? We don't have a USC audience yet. When we if USC fans tap into this and want to give us some respect, maybe we'll revisit it. But you get a Big West coach for now.
That honestly that works. Wait, so who's getting who's your coach, Riley?
Uh, okay. Candidates here. I mean, I think Carolina would make a push for Golden and Oates. I
Mhm.
don't know. I think they might make a push for Dusty May. My fear would be, are you able to poach those guys from football schools? Like, because I think there's a chance. Like looking at Alabama's roster, I don't think their NIL budget was great. You got like I'm sure Phylon cost a pretty penny, but beyond him, the biggest offseason additions were Jaleel Bethea, Taylor Bowen, and Noah Williamson. I don't think any of those guys were high price tag type guys. To where I wonder if Oates, that could be the sell for Kansas, is like you're getting an unlimited bag for your roster pretty much, and maybe he leaves for that. But Alabama, with that football money, could double down and say like, "Hey, we'll increase your salary or whatever." But that's where with like Carolina, it's the same thing that I would say toward Kansas. If you're trying to get Golden, even if Carolina has the $15 million budget to play with, I think some of these football schools can just increase their salary based on their coach's salary based on the revenue that comes in. To me, there's two logical choices. One feels a lot more realistic than the other.
Go ahead and talk to me. What is it?
Okay, the unrealistic one is Dan Hurley, where it's like, let's say,
You're so greedy. Oh,
let me
you're
be a
so
little, let
greedy.
me be a little greedy to at least make my case. I said
Okay.
it's unrealistic,
Okay.
but so let's say UConn doesn't win it all this year. Now you're 2 years removed from a title. Maybe it's a little easier to leave. And what if Hurley sees that the UNC to SEC money what's the word I'm looking for? The money that's coming in,
The revenue?
those SEC pocketbooks coming in,
Hmm.
and another wrinkle, his twin Bobby Hurley. I don't know if they're twins, but
They
for this,
actually are not twins.
they're definitely they're twins in my mind. For his twin Bobby Hurley, the best way to spite him, why don't you go coach? Why don't you go coach your twin's rival?
Hmm. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world.
Not gonna happen, but I at least want to throw it out. One that feels realistic would be Tommy Lloyd. I just think he'd be a perfect fit, stylistically at UNC.
I'd say that's a home run hire for y'all. Not to be honest, like to be honest, I'm a Tommy Lloyd guy. I think that'd be great.
I think he plays like a modernized Roy Williams style. Obviously, he's heavily influenced by Mark Few, who was influenced by Roy Williams. He coached Caleb Love. There's a connection there. His former assistant, Steve Robinson, who just retired, coached under Roy for decades. Maybe not decades, but we're rounding up here. Carry
Decades
the
is crazy.
um, so yeah, to me, Tommy feels like the a perfect fit in Chapel Hill, and I think he would win a national championship at UNC. So I would be over the moon with that. We can go with that for this exercise if you want.
Let's go. Let's go with that for this exercise.
All right. So Hurley stays home.
Yeah.
Hurley stays put. But so then who takes over at Arizona?
Sometimes you just got to go back and go to the well. I think they do. Do they hire Sean Miller? No, actually, for some reason, and I have absolutely no inklings or connections on this whatsoever. Why do I feel like someone's gonna hire Wes Miller just because he's Wes Miller?
I think Wes Miller's axed.
And
I
then
don't.
and then Arizona hires him.
Arizona's too good for that.
Honestly, I would love Musselman in Arizona. He wasn't at all.
Yeah, I would like if we had it already moved him back to the SEC at Ole Miss. I'm looking. So Arizona, I'm trying to think. Could they go? Is there another Gonzaga assistant they could get, or is there another? Let's
Hmm.
see. Is there?
I thought I know on top. Okay, actually, what about this? Hear me out here. Danny Sprinkle actually does well at Washington.
And moves. Do you think he'd leave the Big Ten though?
Yes. For Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I
I'm
think so.
trying to think. Is there any AC? Like Will Wade doesn't feel like an Arizona guy to me.
Mm-mm.
Any ACC guys like Andy Enfield's not good enough to get it. There's like no one that he could poach from the ACC that's really worth anything.
Honestly, it gets kind of bare after that. They're gonna have to take a swing at somebody like from a lower level school they feel good
Oh,
about.
here's a question. Could they go poach Kevin Young from BYU?
I don't think they got enough money.
Hmm.
But I don't know though. That's I don't know.
Could they poach TJ Otzelberger?
I think they could get odds. Yeah, maybe that's the pull.
Ooh, or could they poach Grant McCasland?
They would. I don't know if they got enough money. That they be going head to head. I don't know. McCaslin's leaving Texas.
Yeah. All right, then let's go Otz. Otz is at Arizona.
Out to Arizona. That feels now everything just keep. And you know what? This is where the dominoes end because Iowa State is going to hire someone that we don't know about.
Yes, correct.
And he will have muscles and he will be really good and he'll eventually have another job when we do this segment Dominoes Part 2 in 10 years if Sleepers is still around. Riley, thank you for bringing me along on that journey. I enjoyed that exercise. One big thing presented by radishes, which my wife does like. Riley, good call on you.
Let's
What is your
go.
one big thing today?
Carter, didn't you mention you had a Karen moment earlier?
I did, yeah.
What was it again?
I thought about telling on a member of the Orange Crush because I thought they were completely out of pocket.
I've had a Karen moment recently as well. This has happened twice. Sometimes you might know this with Leon. He's not walking yet, is he?
No, but crawling all over the place.
Okay, once he starts walking, you'll relate to it more. Sometimes you just got to get your kid out of the house. When they're walking all over the place, getting into things they're not supposed to be getting into, climbing on things they're not supposed to be climbing on. Sometimes I just go to Chick-fil-A, let him run loose in the play place.
Yeah,
Just because it's oftentimes in North Carolina, it's a little too hot in the middle of the day to take him to a playground.
respect.
It really gets on my nerves when I see kids that are obviously too old to be playing in the Chick-fil-A playground, playing in the Chick-fil-A playground. It's not even like I'm like, I want Theo to face a little adversity when it comes to playing with kids that are bigger than him. But sometimes these big kids, they just take up a lot of space in the playground. And my son's trying to navigate his way up the stairs to get to the slide.
I respect it, honestly. You're 10, baby. Go outside.
Yeah.
Get
Yes.
out
So
of there. I'm with
parent
you.
to parent, on one hand, I understand when you got to get your kids out of the house. At some point, though, you got to have some feel when it's like, yo, dude, you can't even fit into the slide, much less get down it. Like it's time to graduate from
Yeah,
this.
the feel is always the feel. Having feel is so underrated. To that point, I want to make something very, very clear. Uh, I two things for my one big thing today. One, on that, I feel like people need to have way more feel on the golf course. I ain't saying you got to be good. I ain't saying shrink the game, but I was playing in a league on Tuesday behind this group that was made me look like Tiger Woods, and I'm a damn 28 handicap, right? I'm awful. But like, just have some feel, man. Truly, just holding up the whole course. It was so annoying. I couldn't take it. It was just, there's nothing worse than people who golf slow. I cannot take it. Lastly, my one big thing today. I know I said this like a million times probably on here, but dog, the best purchase I ever made was this little power bank thing from Amazon. And shout out to Greg because I think actually maybe Greg's wife Mal sent me the link to this. This thing saved me, man. I don't even charge my phone anymore. I truly don't because I just got this always on go. My new phone's a great battery. So shout out to Rory, Rorry. Link in the description of our Amazon storefront, which we should probably have so we get some commission on this. But shout out to them. Shout out to you, Riley, for another great episode of Riley Friday. We will be back next week. The man Riley might be at home. Who knows? Thank y'all for tuning in.